Dear society, equality is not a privilege but a human right. Who told you it was a right to dim her light?
Have you ever pondered the pain, the depth of pain etched into the soul of some of these survivors out here when it comes to gender-based abuse? Each story is a testament to resilience, a cry for justice, a call for change. In this journey, in this move, we're going through a myriad of stories, unfathomable experiences that have the power to transform our understanding into action. For some, I'll say it's the strength of having survived gender abuse in whichever aspect. For others, I would say it's the courage to share their stories, which sort of weave a tapestry of courage and of hope, of resilience and of hope. They stand as pillars of strength, their voices echoing the collective cry against this abuse.
Hi, my name is BC and I say no to gender-based violence. When it comes to conversations around gender-based violence, it's definitely a difficult conversation to have.
Salut, je m'appelle Yvonne Darc et je dis non contre la violence contre les femmes. Je dis non contre la violence contre l'un et l'autre. Je dis non contre la violence entre femmes et hommes. Je dis non à la violence.
While discrimination contaminates creation.
Gender-based violence we hear about all the time is not just the physical. I think a lot of us believe it's only in the physical, but there's also emotional, psychological, spiritual, mental, as well as socio-economical. And in all of those areas, there's so much pain and suffering, not only when we're able to speak out as a collective, to create the awareness, because only through creating awareness are we able to end the violence and end the silence.
Sou Essa Solange, trabalho na área da televisão e mídia e vim dar a minha voz na campanha Diga Não. Depois de tantos anos, eu nunca imaginei que uma campanha como essa ainda fosse mexer tanto comigo. É que eu sou uma sobrevivente da violência doméstica. E por mais que isso aconteceu há anos atrás, eu olho para a televisão, vejo os jornais, vou nas redes sociais e parece que nada mudou.
My name is Christophe Bongo from South Africa. This is a message. This is a call to action. We need to stop violence against women.
Quando una storia finisce, non c'è più niente da chiarire. Se una storia finisce, vuol dire che è stato già chiarito tutto. Non stendere la mano al tuo potenziale assassino.
My name is Eji Benson. The Say No campaign to me is very personal. You know, as an adult abuse survivor, I know the impact of it from very close, from a very personal place. And the impact is not only what it does to you right now, but what it does to you later. How much it impacts you, your ability to move forward, and your ability to look at yourself as human, you know?
My name is Cindy, and I stand for the liberation of women everywhere. In a world where the weight of oppression can sometimes bear down on the shoulders of women, I understand just how crucial it is to learn the power of just saying no. In every refusal to accept inequality, in every stance against injustice, is one more step towards our liberation.
My name is Juliet, and it's time to start saying no to sorry, but.
My name is Teresa Julie, and I stand against gender-based violence. We as a society have been just living in silence. Behind closed doors, nobody speaks about their truth. They don't want to talk about abuse. Any sort of violence is taboo. But I'm urging you today, to speak out so that we can break the violence through ending the silence. To say no, to say we've had enough.
Você é capaz de imaginar um mundo sem as mulheres? Consegue imaginar como que seria o mundo, a humanidade, sem esse gênero tão predominante e importante em nossas vidas? Eu também não. As mulheres têm papel importante desde a fundação do mundo e merecem respeito, carinho, amor, atenção, igualdade, justiça.
I am Mushima Gama, and I say no to gender-based violence because no one should have the right to dominate another through abuse, particularly physical abuse. I believe a person who's strong in their powers, who respects themselves, knows to deal with the situation in a more considerate manner.
Il y a une situation qui se répète tellement. C'est la traumatisation des adultes, des hommes, la plupart du temps, et qui voient une situation qui était faite devant eux quand ils étaient des enfants, ont vu leur grand-père taper leur grand-mère ou taper leur père. Ils étaient élevés dans une situation de violence.
To every woman listening, say no. Our no is valid. It is powerful. It is necessary. Let's stand together and say no to the limitation that's placed on us. Say yes to a future where our voices are heard, respected, and celebrated. This is Veronica Tan from Success Resources, Singapore.
My name is Sanaipe, and I'm a mother to a 6-year-old boy, and I vehemently decry all the abuse against females. There's emotional, physical, mental, financial abuse that is going on that has to stop.
My name is Tanya, and I'm here to say no to gender-based violence. I'm 36 years old, and in 2024, to have this conversation, to say no about gender-based violence, it really does break my heart. Together we raise awareness, we talk about these issues, what actions we take, and how do we educate our friends and our peers about gender-based violence. What forms does violence look like, does it take? How do you know if somebody is suffering, and how do you know what support you can give each other?
Oui, bonjour, je suis Samuel Azevedo, je suis brésilien de Bahia, et je dis non au sexisme parce qu'il viole les droits des femmes.
My name is Inonge, and I say no to gender-based violence. It's a scourge, an evil, a blight on our society and on our very psyche. And so I ask you to help me say no to the things that feed gender-based violence. Fear, intimidation, brokenness, say no. Rampant unemployment and poverty, say no. Normalization of violence, crime and trauma, say no.
Con me di no alla violenza di genere. Chiedi aiuto e guarda altrove.
I think sometimes these are the conversations that we have that stem into action so that gender-based violence can stop. I know this can stop because there is a gentle uprising, a gentle revolution that is happening, and the more we talk, the more we can say no.
It's time to start saying no to apologizing before we speak. What you have to say is valid. What you have to say is valuable. So it's time to start saying no to sorry but.
Hi, my name is Renee, and I'm standing with anyone who has ever experienced verbal abuse. I grew up in an impoverished neighborhood, and as I was growing up, I witnessed a lot of families break up purely because of verbal abuse. I have watched people very close to me suffer in silence and just bear with it all, only because that was the only thing that they knew. They'd know better.
Olá, eu sou Carol, sou de São Francisco do Conde, Bahia. Eu sou contra o sexismo porque ele viola e coloca em risco a vida das mulheres.
This is Odiodero. I say love and blessings. I'm here today to support my dear sister Lisa Ogumbo for her campaign, especially to protect our mothers, to protect our sisters. Gender-based violence is continuing to be a problem worldwide, and maybe even more in some societies than the other.
E se você está neste momento a assistir isso e a se perguntar para quê? Para que mais uma campanha? É porque ainda existem pessoas que se importam. Ainda existem pessoas que vão usar o que têm, seu talento, os seus recursos, as suas influências, seja lá o que for necessário para poder ajudar a combater esse câncer que está a tomar conta da sociedade. Então, a próxima vez que você ouvir diga não, olhe à sua volta. Porque a mudança pode começar dentro da sua própria casa.
My name is Estefanos Berta Samuel, and I am taking a stand with every woman who went through what I watched my own mother go through. As a single parent, taking care of 4 children on her own.
Hello, my name is Sueza Solange. I'm a multi-award-winning TV and media personality, and I've come to give my voice on the Say No campaign. And I'm doing it because I'm triggered. I never imagined that after so many years of surviving domestic violence, I was still gonna have to lend my voice to a cause that is not getting any better.
All I want to remind every single person out there, regardless of their gender, is that you came from a woman. A woman carried you for 9 months. A woman went through the most excruciating, life-threatening pain to give birth to you. So when you look at another woman, or when you look at a female, what do you see? Do you see somebody who should be battered, or do you see somebody who should be respected? As far as I'm concerned, that woman loved you, nurtured you, clothed you, prayed over you, cried over you. So remember that when you see another female. Remember to respect her and give her all the love she deserves. Thank you.
So I think it is very important for all of us to join hands and say no. It leaves a lot of lives in disarray, a lot of lives in just ever trying to rebuild. So let's say no.
Il mio nome è Francesca Marzilli Battista e stai con me nella lotta contro la violenza di genere. Non stendere la mano al tuo potenziale assassino. Potrebbe essere troppo tardi. Chiedi aiuto e guarda altrove.
I want you to realize that we have a call for action. This is so urgent. First thing I want you to always remember at the back of your head through this move, through our lives, is the Say No move is capturing on what we have to say no against, what we have to stand against. Gender-based abuse is a global issue, and it affects people of all ages, all backgrounds, all shades, all everything, all ages. It affects humans. This is not a woman movement. This is a human movement. Please, may I remind you.
Socioeconomic imbalance, gender inequality, patriarchy. Say no. Child marriages. Say no. Substance abuse. Say no. I don't believe I'm helpless. I don't believe you're helpless. I believe we all have the power to drive change and to be change. And so I ask you to help me say yes to a better future for women and girls by helping me.
And I learned by her example that women are, above all else, filled with supernatural strength, sagacity, and resilience. She also taught me by her example a very strong life lesson, and that is 90% of life is simply showing up. And the people that you are meant to serve, the people that are meant to hear the sound of your voice, whoever those persons are, they're waiting for you.
Dear society, equality is not a privilege but a human right. Who told you it was a right to dim her light?
Have lost 2 friends to gender-based violence. I mean, these women had their lives ahead of them. They had so much to live for, and to lose them at such a young age was just was terrible, and very sad. And going through that is not something easy. I know it's not a conversation that we have enough, and we need to do our best to talk more about it, but not just talking about it, but actually finding ways to deal with the situation, talking to I know it's a very difficult thing for a woman or even a man, because men do go through these experiences as well, even though they don't talk about it as much. because they probably see it as a weakness, you know, coming out as a man and, you know, being able to say that, you know, you're going through something like this.
E se você está neste momento a assistir isso e a se perguntar para quê? Para que mais uma campanha? É porque ainda existem pessoas que se importam. Ainda existem pessoas que vão usar o que têm, seu talento, os seus recursos, as suas influências, seja lá o que for necessário para poder ajudar a combater esse câncer que está a tomar conta da sociedade. Então, a próxima vez que você ouvir, diga não, olhe à sua volta, porque a mudança pode começar dentro da sua própria casa.
Another fact, I feel the silence around gender-based abuse needs to be shattered. These survivors' voices need to be heard. Their stories need to be shared. This is up to me and up to you to do this. Whether we're doing it in the pain of being a survivor, or whether we are doing it in the pain of feeling the pain of the person who's surviving this issue, who's so close to it.
I don't care how rich you are, how successful, how strong, or publicly admired you are. Beating a woman is a sign of weakness and reveals how worthless you are. I also implore women or the abused to report, expose, and respect yourself so as to end the perpetual cycle of abuse in families. Also for the younger generation not to see it as a norm or as a sign of love or affection, because it is not. Do not enable an abuser. I say no to gender-based violence.
Talking about it, like I said, but actually doing something, being there for the people that are going through this experience, and yeah, just helping them on their journey.
Another key point I would love to make is to remind you that this is gender-based abuse is not a woman's issue. It's a human rights issue.
If we want to have a better world, if we want to have a developed world, if we want to have a meaningful world, we need women to be protected. We need women to be celebrated. Because only with women together we can make this world a better place. So, my brothers, regardless of where you are, this is a call to action. Stop violence toward women. Stop gender-based violence.
I myself know how difficult this can be. I grew up believing that my emotions weren't valid, that my needs had to come second to everyone else's, and that as a woman and as a human, I was never enough. It took me a long time to realize that I was allowed to challenge these deeply held beliefs. And once I realized that I was the only one that could challenge them, I felt empowered.
It's not enough to talk about it, but we need to take action. And I hope that through this music, something can be done. And just standing up for the people that cannot stand up for themselves. Have come to me to talk about it, and I try my best to be there for them if they want a helping hand. So yeah, I hope this video reaches far and wide, and we can take more steps in doing the best that we can to be there for the people that have gone through this.
I would say that if you want to know a man, know his relationships with the women of his life, the sisters, the mothers, the aunts, because that creates the trajectory of how a man treats a woman. Men, please, let's protect our women. Let's protect our mothers. Let's protect our families. I am so proud for the men that are taking care of our women, and so heartbroken for men that are not treating our women right, men that are not protecting our women.
Today I'm still not perfect. There are days where I'm stronger than others, days where it's easier to slip backwards a little bit. But the way I look at it, so long as I'm only slipping back a bit, but always moving forward, that's progress. Progress is not linear. Progress is a roller coaster ride of ups and downs. But within us, we each have the human spirit to treat ourselves with compassion, dignity, and courage. So let us strive towards living in a world where we can flourish, unbounded by any chains of oppression. And as we're confronted by this inevitable force of adversity, let us remember that we have the strength to fight for our rights. So to all women out there, I ask, let us honor and support ourselves by liberating ourselves through the power of learning to just say no.
My name is Teresa Julie, and I stand against gender-based violence. We as a society have been just living in silence. Behind closed doors, nobody speaks about their truth. They don't want to talk about abuse. Any sort of violence is taboo. But I'm urging you today, I'm urging you to speak out so that we can break the violence through ending the silence. To say no, to say we've had enough. Now, gender-based violence we hear about all the time is not just the physical. I think a lot of us believe it's only in the physical, but there's also emotional, psychological, spiritual, mental, as well as socio-economical. And in all of those areas, there's so much pain and suffering, not only when we're able to speak out as a collective, to create the awareness, because only through creating awareness are we able to end the violence and end the silence.
Yes, we face systematic barriers, and yes, we face societal pressures. But as a woman, I know how resilient we are. We are the embodiment of strength, love, and peace, not only for ourselves, but for our friends, family, communities, and the global society as a whole.
E eu peço para que você, junto comigo, diga não a todas as práticas abusivas que envolvem esse gênero, que envolvem as mulheres. Diga não à violência. Diga não ao abuso. E diga não a toda e qualquer coisa que seja depreciativa à mulher. Junte-se a nós. Eu sou o Maílson, eu sou do Brasil, e eu digo não.
Ils ont vu leur mère ou leur père taper l'un et l'autre. Et ils ont grandi dans cette violence. Et ils le répètent. Ils ne se réalisent pas dès qu'ils deviennent des adultes. Quand ils se retrouvent dans une situation similaire, au lieu de quitter, ils restent. Vous avez le choix de quitter, de sortir, de partir. Et si la relation ne marche plus, vous avez le choix de partir. Alors je dis non contre la violence. Ce n'est pas la solution. Période. On devient une société qui devient violente. Alors je dis non contre la violence. My name is Yvonne Dark, and I'm standing against gender-based violence. I'm standing against femicide. I'm standing against any form of violence laid on any person.
And I didn't know that verbal abuse it's worse than physical abuse. It damages the mind, damages the soul, damages the heart. It breaks your heart. It broke my heart to see people suffer in silence. This is why I'm so passionate about stopping verbal abuse. We need to stop it right away.
And the reason I'm doing this, and everybody else that is part of this campaign is doing this, is just so that people know that everyone is not asleep. We will continue to use our voice, our talent, our influence, our resources to not only bring awareness, but also change to this cancer that is taking over our society. So next time you hear say no, look around you, because change can begin within your own home.
Time is a precious commodity. And today I want to dedicate time to just share my gratitude. A heartfelt gratitude goes out to all the voices that have amplified their sentiments towards my move, standing against gender-based abuse, saying no. This isn't just a mere expression. This is a testament to the power of collective action, the strength of unity, and the magic that happens when we use our voices for a cause. Say No has resonated far and wide, echoing a universal message. And it's all thank you to you. Your support, your shares, your words have all made such a big difference. In this world where actions speak louder than words, your voices have roared. Together we've made a statement that cannot be forgotten. The amplifiers, the supporters, the believers. Your voices matter. Thank you. Thank you.
Say no, no, no. To exploitation, to manipulation, to violation. Say no, no, no. Say no, no, no. Enough is enough. In exploitation and violence, she lost who she was. Boy, I don't know.